Welcome to LaughNapkin. Today I have 3 stories from r/Idontworkherelady featuring a bonus story from r/Let's Not Meet. And ooh, is it a creepy one? If you're a fan of these Reddit stories, consider subscribing as I put out new videos daily. Now let's get to it. I hate clappers. This just happened today. I'm at my local Wally World Walmart, dressed in my Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and just not looking anything like an employee of Walmart. I'm with my cart, grabbing chips and salsa for a gathering I have this evening. A nice gal of about 5'0" asked me to help her get some chips from the upper shelf. Why is it that the shelves for the chips are always empty at this Walmart? I, being 6'6", get asked often to grab things from the high shelves. I feel for you vertically challenged folks. So I grab the chips and pass them to her. She thanks me and goes on her way. Then it happens. The huff. I turn and see her. Now that you're done flirting, where can I find the batteries? I chuckle and say, well, what kind? She cuts me off and starts clapping. Where are the batteries? I then say, I'm sorry, you don't need to clap. I don't work here. She cuts me off again and says, don't make me get your manager. Where are the batteries? Now, I knew what she was asking, but being that I hate clappers, it's the rudest form of communication possible, I say they're over in the automotive section. Just talk to one of the service techs out there. She storms off. I continue my shopping when about 5 minutes later, I hear the scream. That's not what I wanted. Where is that a-hole associate? I start grinning. Here it comes. She hunts me down and says, they only have car batteries there. I wanted small batteries for electronics. I look at her, I smile, and then say, you were not specific. Her mouth drops open. She gasps like I just stole all the oxygen from the area. She then says, where is your manager? Now I work remotely for my company. My manager works in a different state. I say to her, likely in St. Louis. As I try to tell you, lady, I don't work here. I then turn and walk away while she spews hate and vulgarity in my direction. I'm calling it a good day. Don't clap at me. I'm not performing for you. Also, I want to clarify a point. The first lady who asked for the chips, she is not the clapper. I was happy to get her the chips. She was also adorable as hell, so we may have been flirting a bit. You must work here because you look dirty. I had an I don't work here lady moment yesterday. I'm in HVAC school right now, so I get out mid-afternoons most days. Yesterday, I get a call saying my brand new recliner chair was ready for pickup from the furniture warehouse. I ordered it a month ago, and it just got to the distribution center. So I booked it over after class, and thought how great to have a chair that's mine again and not falling apart. My current one is 14 years old, and my daughters tend to claim it when I get up for more than 10 seconds. That being said, I get to the warehouse, go in, get the order processed for pickup, and back my truck to the bay door and wait as told by customer service. Thus, the incident. Older entitled dude, OED. Sentient being, me. OED pulls up in a very nice, very well polished Cadillac right next to me, 2 spaces over from the bay doors, and sits there. Looks around for a minute, sees me leaning on the tailgate of my truck, and stares at me for probably 30 seconds before he loses patience. I'm obviously looking at my phone and waiting for delivery of my chair. OED, hey, yells this through rolled down car windows. Me, heard his yelling but didn't care enough to look up. OED, hey, I know you can hear me. Lays on the car horn at this point. Me, what? OED, come here now. Me, no, I'm good. OED, stupid lazy little shit. Get over here and get my furniture order. Me, okay, this can't really be happening, so I sauntered over. What the hell are you barking about and why are you yelling at me? OED, because I'm a paying customer and you're not being paid to sit on your ass. so get in there and get my furniture now. Me, okay, now I get it. You think I work here. Well, I don't. OED, yes you do. You're dressed like a dirty warehouse worker. You're just being a lazy, entitled a-hole. Keep in mind, this guy is yelling at me, calling me lazy and entitled while sitting in an $80,000 car. Me, look old man, if you want your furniture processed, you have to go inside like everyone else and get the customer service people to process it. There ain't curbside service here. OED, this is your last warning, punk. Go get my furniture. Me, okay, I'm gonna go back and wait for my stuff now. Right about then, the bay doors open and an actual employee comes out with my chair on a dolly. Employee is wearing shorts, sneakers, a harness, and a t-shirt that says the furniture store on it. I'm in a hoodie, long work pants, and boots, so no actual resemblance to employee. Employee helps me load the chair, still boxed up, into my truck bed, and I signed the sales receipt for it. Meanwhile, OED has finally gotten out and is stalling his way over, bitching to the heavens over all the injustices of the world and how millennials are ruining everything. I guess I'm a millennial now, even though I'm over 40 and my beard is going gray. I got the chair all strapped down and hopped out of my truck bed, shook the actual employee's hand, and got in and started my truck. Employee must have been used to the insanity of entitled customers because he was completely ignoring the OED. Instead, he pushed the dolly back in and closed the bay door. OED was hollering and cussing up a storm as I started up and drove away. Not the most satisfying story, but still ended with a smile on my face. You be the employee, I'll be the manager. I just moved to a new city and was taking a look around a local superstore on my lunch break. I wasn't planning on getting anything except a drink, so no cart or basket, which added to the confusion. Before I rounded an aisle, the yelling started. And around the corner, I saw a woman berating a tall fella with a shopping basket, standing with his head down. The woman was shrieking about how much of an idiot he was, how the store could hire stupid morons, and how she was gonna get his sorry ass fired. All while he's saying, "But ma'am, I'm just shopping. I just helped that lady get something from the shelf." And the ever famous, "I don't work here." She was not having it. "I want to speak to your manager right now." Just as I got to the middle of the aisle, she turned and saw me, looked me up and down, and screeched, "Finally, your manager's here and she'll take care of you," as she stood with her hands on her hips and a smug look on her face. I decided, whatever, two can play at this game, so I asked her what the problem was. Apparently, my employee was helping another lady, but when she wanted him to get something from the back for her, he refused. I looked at him, winked, and said, "Is that true? Did you refuse to help this lady?" And before he could say anything, I turned back to her and said, "Thanks for bringing this to my attention. I'll take it from here." I turned back and said, "Would you please come with me?" And he nodded and followed me out of the aisle. As we got to the corner, he turned back to me and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't actually work here." I said, "Me neither, but she doesn't need to know that. Are you okay?" He started to smile, then looked behind me and his eyes widened. She was back. I said loud enough for her to hear, "I'm sorry, this isn't working out. Please clock out and go home. The next time you come here, it will be as a customer, not staff." I turned to her, nodded, and walked out the door. So, I, the non-manager at a grocery store, fired a non-employee and everyone went home happy. Except me, because I forgot to pick up a drink in all the excitement. Someone is sending flowers with cryptic nonsense and strange gifts to our home. I'm a longtime lurker and I have never had a story to share until now. I'm starting to feel really creeped out about this. I hope I'm just overreacting and it turns out to not be some weirdo doing this, but I don't know of anyone who would do this. And we've already asked around our family friends and no one knows what we're talking about. 2 weeks ago, my mom started getting deliveries from a local flower shop with cryptic messages and has no idea where they're coming from. And then today, something else happened. The first, that came a couple weeks ago, was a bouquet with a note. Do these smell better? She asked her boyfriend and he said he didn't order anything, and was equally as weirded out as her that she was receiving flowers from a total stranger. Not to mention the weird note with no context. She had no idea who it would be from, or what the note meant. Do these flowers smell better than what? There was no context, and it sounded like some kind of inside joke that she was supposed to understand, but she had no idea what they were referring to. She mentioned it to my dad and her close friends too. It wasn't them either. She called the flower shop and they said they weren't allowed to disclose who it came from and wouldn't give her any information. So it wasn't like it was just a promo thing from the shop to get business. Yesterday, she texted me while I was at work and said she just received another bouquet with chocolates and another note. White, blue, red, green buttons falling from a tree. Typos included, not that that matters. At least the first note made half sense. This one is weird as shit. She recently quit her job on weird terms due to an awkward situation with her boss, and I'm concerned that it might be him. According to her, while she was working there, he came across as a weirdo and she always got a bad vibe from him, with his behavior bordering on sexual harassment, excessive flirting, weird comments, etc. That's really the only possible current person in her life I can think of this coming from. But that's just a guess and we have no proof. The messages still make no sense. Maybe I've seen too many damn horror movies, but they almost sound cryptic to me. And then today, something else happened. Without being specific, obviously, my mom has a last name as a historical figure. She just got a random Amazon package, opened it, and it was a book about that same historical figure called Have You Heard of Blank? It was a kid's book. Me and my younger brother are both adults, so there's no reason for anyone to send this as a gift. And we have different last names anyway. I'm a female in my 20s. Recently moved back with my mom and my brother for financial reasons to get back on my feet and pay for my divorce after the lease for my place was up. My brother works night shift, so it's only me and my mom in the house at night, which is when I'm most worried about something happening. I can't think of any reason why someone would be doing this without saying anything unless they're a freaking creep. And we can't think of anyone who would do this as a prank. Unless it's her ex-boss, and as I mentioned, he's a creep, and they don't speak / aren't buddies. The first one was strange, but we kinda brushed it off thinking it wouldn't happen again. The second one yesterday makes it even more creepy, and the random book today made both of us even more uneasy. It's one thing to send flowers, but whoever it was went out of their way to get a random Amazon book with her last name on it. I'm really weirded out now knowing there's nothing we can really do but wait and see if something happens again or if things get creepier. My mom also has PTSD, part of which stems from being stalked by a guy for several years before he randomly stopped. So it's making me that much more uncomfortable, and although that was 25 plus years ago, I'd be lying if I said part of me isn't worried it's the same guy and that he found her. She had the stalker before she married my dad, and she just took her maiden name back about a year ago after my parents' divorce was finalized. I haven't mentioned this concern to her though. I don't want to freak her out even more. We are so close and she told me about the stalker a few years ago. Although I can imagine that being stalked sticks with you for a long time, and I'm sure the worry has probably crossed her mind. Hell, I have PTSD from other shit, and this is freaking me the heck out too. I feel helpless, and the thought of us being home alone at night freaks me out. I know nothing has actually happened, but I don't feel safe. If the person doing this has ill intentions, they know where we live. Her boyfriend stays at the house on weekends, stays with his kids during the week, so I feel a lot safer when he's here, but during the week, it's just us. The thought of, what if it's her ex-stalker, is absolutely terrifying. When she told me about him, she told me that he assaulted her, and the details of how it happened, and he's a freaking monster. I can barely even think about it being him, and the thought of it makes me sick. She's thinking about buying a gun just in case. and I don't think it's a bad idea. Typing this all out made me realize just how freaking creepy this is. Other than that, I have no idea who it is or why they're doing this. But to whoever the hell is sending random flowers and gifts with weird messages to our home, let's not meet. Well, that about wraps it up. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and bell. By the way, I just started a Discord server for anyone looking to be part of the LaughNapkin community. Link in the description below. See you next time.